All right, here's my take. Joe Pesci needs to win the Oscar. That's my take.
Yep. Preach. Preach.
That is it. And I think we're done.
This could be my favorite Joe Pesci performance.
How? How is he so good in this?
Yeah.
What? How? How is the guy who hasn't acted since 2010? I think he did like one animated performance. He had like a small speaking part in an animated movie, 2015. Did Snickers commercials in between to pay the bills. Has been making like jazz albums in Greenwich Village for the last 20 years. His last major part was, last major movie was The Good Shepherd in 2006, which Robert De Niro directed. But has been, basically invisible since Casino.
Pretty much.
Right?
I was completely floored by Joe Pesci in this movie. I mean, I have to say, like, this is, he should absolutely win the Oscar for this movie. He's incredible.
I cannot believe the guy whose arm had to be twisted in order to make the movie. Like, De Niro, I believe, asked him upwards of 12 times. I think he said that in an interview. I had to keep going to his house, beg him to take this part. He's perfect for this part. We got to do it just one more time. And Pesci's just not interested in acting anymore. It's a real like Marlon Brando thing. It's like Marlon Brando, the most talented actor to ever walk the face of the planet, hated acting. And Pesci, it feels like it's the same thing. He did a bunch of weird comedies in the 90s. Really has only made, if we're being honest with ourselves, 3 great movies. And maybe not even 3.
What do you mean? 3 great movies?
Maybe 2.5. He made He made Goodfellas and Raging Bull.
Yeah.
And then, okay, how about we count My Cousin Vinny and Casino as half?
Home Alone in a sense. It's certainly a Christmas classic.
And then you got JFK, I suppose. He's a bit part in JFK.
Yeah. Isn't he in the Lethal Weapon movies?
Yes. Leo gets. Whatever Leo wants, Leo gets.
Yep. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, this guy's a comedy actor. The later stage of his career has been defined by comedies, right?
Yeah, I guess. But it's interesting, though, because for me, it's as if like they were asking him time and time and time again, and he comes on, he's like, okay, you want me to do the movie? I'll do the fucking movie. Watch this. Watch this. And it's like, oh, God, he's better than Al Pacino in the movie.
No, he dominates this movie.
I have never wanted a character to come back onto the screen more than any other film I think I've ever seen in my life, because I love seeing him so much. I mean, the level of command and poise and just how patient he is in every single thing he says and every single little movement. It's like a perfect performance.
It is absolutely dominant.
I can confidently say I think there's nothing wrong with his performance. It's stunning.
I don't know. It's unbelievable. It was my only takeaway. I watched the movie and like we can get into the nitty gritty and we will. But this was my only takeaway. The guy that was least enthusiastic to be in this movie completely steals every scene he's in. He's actually flooring, and it's not in the way that Pesci has dominated previous movies. He's great in Raging Bull. In fact, he's underrated in Raging Bull. He wins the Oscar for Goodfellas, but he's a hothead in that movie, man. He's over the top, and it's loud, and it's boisterous, and it's a very showy performance. This is not only the most quiet Pesci performance of all time, but it's also the most controlled and restrained and confident, and like... He does so much more with less in this movie. I've never seen him make so much of so little.
Oh God! Well, that was the other thing. Like just understanding what he was thinking or feeling, even when he wasn't talking. This is how I knew it was better than everyone else in the movie. In fact, that maybe it is the best part of the movie. Is that?
Oh, it is, no doubt.
No, even when he's not talking, he's the best person in the room still. When he's doing like nothing.
The scene with his wife, where they do the flashback with the wife, and he comes home with the blood on his shirt, and the wife says, "Here, I'll take your shirt. Don't forget to take off your shoes." The amount of just despair in his face doesn't say a word in that scene.
Yep.
The anguish and despair on his face of, ugh, it's a living, tough day at the office.
Yeah, it's like, what? How did I get here? Kind of a thing.
How do you come off the bench after 10 years and do it with a performance like that? Mm-hmm. Who is this guy to think that we were concerned that, oh, Pesci may have lost a step in the last 15 years. We don't know what we're getting out of him. How foolish were we?
This is like one of the great performances of the decade.
He's incredible. He's so good in this.
Yeah. This is this is
but I don't think we're doing it justice. I can't articulate what a miracle that is.
No,
that he's so
I
good
agree.
in this movie.
Yeah.
And that
never happens.
He's so good for reasons so unlike him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not really playing to his strengths. I guess he is playing to his strengths because he's a tremendous actor, but he's not doing the Joe Pesci thing. It's a subversion of the Joe Pesci persona in many ways.
Well, the fact that he can come into this role so late in his life and still surprise us this way, I mean, that's remarkable. Like I said, like, you would look at this whole scenario and be like, all right, they're just phoning it in, trying to get Pesci back. But it's like, oh God, like, this is actually happening. He's putting in one of the great performances that we're ever going to see. And you're right. That is kind of a miracle.
It's an absolute miracle. And that is not to speak illy of De Niro and Pacino, who I think are both serviceable in the movie. I have my problems with both of them.
Me too.
But I mean, I think everyone is going for their all. I don't think anybody involved in this movie decided to half-ass it. But Pesci here, that's my only takeaway, is he needs the Oscar. It feels like it's going to be a race between him and Pitt. I don't know how it's going to shake out. I don't know if Pacino and Pesci are going to split votes or what, but
I'm sorry. I would be ashamed of myself as a member of the Academy not giving it to Pesci over that.
And also, how can you resist?
Yeah, I know.
How can you resist giving him another one?